Welcome to the Action Planning webinar. Whether you've taken one of our Social Changemakers programs or you're thinking about creating social change for the first time, this webinar is for you. In this Action Planning webinar, we will guide you step by step on how to create, plan, and implement initiatives for your school and community. In this session, you will need to have the following items. Action Planning forms. You can find these forms in the description box below or in the Social Changemakers toolkit. Optional, something to store your genius ideas into, such as a notebook, phone, tablet, or computer. What is action planning anyway? When it comes to social change making, action planning is the most exciting part of the process. During the action planning stage, you will bring all your great ideas together in the form of initiatives for a chance to share what you know with your friends, teachers, and even the world. An initiative can be an activity, campaign, or project that you use to educate and engage others about a particular social justice issue. Action planning can be fun, exciting, and an opportunity to use and exhibit creativity and social media skills to create social change that benefits your community and school. Before we get into the details of action planning, let's get a few things out of the way so that we're all on the same page. What is social change making? Social change making is the process of coming up with new and creative ways to improve the lives of people within your schools and communities. As a social change maker, your goal is to help create safer and more inclusive spaces for people of different identities like races, ethnicities, sexual orientations, abilities, and socioeconomic status. Speaking of identities, let's take a closer look at the different identities that shape people's experiences. The personal lens wheel is a list of identities that impacts a person's experience and perception of the world. A few of my personal lens would be my gender as female, my race as Black or African, and my ability as being a fully able-bodied person. Take a moment to identify some of your personal lens. There are a couple of things to remember when we're recognizing our identities. First, our identities intersect and exist simultaneously. Meaning, I'm never just a woman, but I'm actually a Black woman, which changes my experiences as being female. Secondly, within every identity, there is a more privileged identity. A privileged identity is an identity that doesn't experience particular barriers or challenges within that identity. Their identity is seen as more valuable and benefit from the structures that exist in society. If we take a closer look at ability, we will see that individuals who are able-bodied experience privilege as opposed to those who are differently abled or disabled. Those who use wheelchairs or any other assistive devices or have different intellectual or mental abilities are seen as less valuable, therefore encountering a lot of obstacles in society. As you can see, we walk around with many layers of our identities. These identities shape our everyday experiences in society. Now that we've defined action planning and social change making, I would now like to introduce you to our 3 R's of social change. To help ease the process of planning an initiative for social change, the webinar series will be divided into 3 sections: reflect, recognize, and respond. You can reference any of those sections each time you want to plan an initiative to ensure that you have planned and thought through your action plan thoroughly. Step 1 of the webinar will ask you to reflect on our current world by asking yourself, what are some of the current issues that are happening and who exactly are being affected? Step 2 of the webinar will ask you to recognize what the root causes of those issues are. Step 3 of the webinar asks you, how will you respond or what will you do to tackle those issues? The webinar will consist of a variety of online tools, quizzes, and surveys to help you action plan.